What happens behind the scenes of IHL resolutions? Imagine a busy international stage where many different voices come together to shape rules that protect people during war. That's what happens behind the scenes of United Nations resolutions on international humanitarian law. It's a process full of careful negotiations, expert advice, and diplomatic efforts. First, the process often starts with discussions in key United Nations bodies like the Security Council and the General Assembly. These groups look at reports from unofficials, humanitarian organizations, and experts about violations of laws like the Geneva Conventions. They examine what's happening on the ground and decide how to respond. The Security Council has the power to make resolutions that are legally binding. When there is a threat to peace or security, it can call on parties to respect the laws of armed conflict. It can also impose sanctions or authorize peacekeeping missions to help enforce these rules. These decisions are based on detailed reports from unofficials and sometimes from the International Committee of the Red Cross, which has a special role in monitoring compliance with IHL. Meanwhile, the General Assembly and other UN bodies work to promote respect for IHL through non-binding resolutions. These resolutions help encourage countries to sign treaties like the additional protocols to the Geneva Conventions or the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. They send a political message that the world expects nations to follow these laws, even if they are not legally required to do so. Behind the scenes, diplomats and legal experts work quietly with governments and conflict parties. They try to persuade them to respect IHL and prevent violations. This diplomatic work involves private talks, advocacy, and sometimes public statements. The goal is to protect civilians and prisoners of or from harm. The Secretary General and Special Rapporteurs also play a role by issuing reports that highlight violations and suggest actions. These reports influence how resolutions are drafted and what measures are recommended. The UN often partners with the International Committee of the Red Cross, which provides expert advice and impartial assessments to guide UN decisions. Once a resolution is agreed upon, the work doesn't stop. The UN sets up mechanisms to follow up. This can include creating commissions of inquiry, supporting international criminal tribunals, or deploying peacekeeping forces. These peacekeepers operate under strict rules of international humanitarian law and are tasked with protecting civilians and monitoring compliance. Throughout this process, the UN tries to balance legal principles with political realities. It aims to uphold the protections of the Geneva Conventions and related laws while navigating the complex world of international relations and conflicts. So, behind every UN resolution on international humanitarian law, there's a detailed, multi-layered effort involving negotiations, expert advice, diplomatic engagement, and follow-up actions. It's a team effort to make sure that, even in war, some rules are respected to protect those most vulnerable.